the Penn State Boise State game, you know, it felt like Penn State kind of outsmarted themselves. They tried to get a little bit too cute in this game because for the life of me, I didn't understand why they kept trying to throw the football. You feel me? I felt like when Tyler Warren won MVP, it was something that more people should have been outraged over because I felt like Katron Allen was the MVP of that game. He stole the show.
Congratulations. Yes.
He
That
stole the
I
show.
agree.
Every time he touched the ball, it seemed like it was a first down. You feel me? And for the people that are using this game as an indictment against Ashton Jeanty, look, this definitely wasn't his best game. It's the worst game statistically he played all year, but he's only the second running back outside of Woody Marks, who's a beast himself, to put 100
Yes.
on this defense.
That was the statistic I pulled out for everybody, and I held on to it. I said, if he cracks 100 yards, I don't care if he rushed the ball 100 times. That's the number one rushing offense. And to add on to that, what other people don't understand, outside of Woody Marks this year, every other team had a dual threat running back core that had 100 yards collectively against these guys. But like, it's Ashton Jeanty and whatever that kid was that ran for the touchdown in the first quarter. Like, that was it. And I agree with you, man. I think people, and it's just like the Dylan Gabriel thing. It drives me nuts. Like, one game in a
Yeah.
primetime situation with all the pressure on these guys, and they have a less than ideal game, and now everybody's questioning the acumen of how good that these players have been. Look, Ashton Genty's had the second best statistical running back season of all time. Nobody's beating Barry. I don't think that's ever going to
Yeah.
happen. But like, Melvin Gordon, that dude had a 300 and something yard game that season.
Yeah.
And then
24.
Samaje Perine the
Yeah.
next week broke it. So
Yeah.
like, his numbers are kind of inflated because of that one game. Ashton has just been 150 yard, 190 yard, 200, 190, 180 all season long, and putting Boise State on his back. Melvin Gordon wasn't doing that. You put Boise State on that offensive line that Melvin Gordon had,
Nowhere
we're
near as
talking about that
dominant.
he probably beats Barry Sanders record in 10 games. And that's I'm not exaggerating. That's just the
Yeah.
truth. So, shout out to them. I mean, like I did. Like, you watch that game, you're like, damn, this game is way closer than what the score says
Yeah.
it is.
And it was somewhat Penn State's fault, but I did feel like for Boise State, and I said this when I reacted instantly after the game was over. Boise State, with them being the underdog, they had to play flawless to win. And you kind of saw Arizona State, like, they were able to overcome some mishaps early, and then they really started to buckle down. You know, Boise State,
Yep.
you get 2 missed field goals. You get penalized every time you get a big play. You know, like, I felt like in the second half, if Penn State would have been committed to the run, they probably run away with this game. But the fact that, Boise State was able to hang around, and Ashton Jeanty had a couple of amazing plays. No, everybody wants to call him overrated, but not nan person has posted that 3rd and 21 run that he had. I was like, so we not finna talk about how they just converted a 3rd and long, giving it to
Uh,
Ashton Jeanty.
yeah,
Every
it
time
was
he
like a
ran the ball, he was breaking like three, four tackles.
it was like a 2nd and 7 too, where he broke like 5 tackles and was close to getting a first down too. That, like, I don't know if you saw that clip, but like, we was watching the game and I'm like, this dude is doing everything that he can, man. I don't get how you come out of that game against a Boise State offensive line against Penn State's tough front seven, the best rushing crew, rush defense, and you come away saying, damn, Boise State or actually GT sucks.
Overrated. Yeah, Penn State
Yeah.
game plan for him, like, as from the first handoff they gave him, you knew what Penn State wanted to do. You had like 8, 9 guys putting a hat on a hat, flying to Ashton Jeanty. They were looking like hounds out there. They were like, like they were getting after us. Like, holy, they is hitting out
You
here.
know what it is, man? It's like, as well as I do. We'll sit here, we'll watch games from the morning to 3 o'clock in the morning when Fresno State comes on and plays San Jose State or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is like, I don't catch every game, but I try not to go to the box score and determine exactly what
Hmm.
happened in that game. I try to do my due diligence and try to find the broadcast or wait till one of my buddies from one of the colleges sends out the all 22 to go back and watch exactly what happened, because Stats don't tell you the whole thing. And I
Yeah.
think that's what people were doing is like they were just refreshing their ESPN app and looking at the stats and saying, "Oh, he got 30 carries and averaging like 2 yards a carry." And it's like, well, like you said, what about that 3rd and 25 where he got the first down and breaking tackles? Like, nah, y'all don't understand exactly what happened. And shout out to Maddox Madsen, man. I've been giving him love all
I
year.
felt like
That dude,
Miami needs to go buy that dude. I don't
man,
care about the interceptions. It's like I get it that the interception that he
it was a
threw,
prime time moment, man. You
yeah.
know, like
Like when he trying to get that slot fade, I don't blame him for throwing that. I would have threw the same. I throw that same interception all the time on college football 25. That was a great play by the safety to even sniff that out and chase it down halfway across the field. That's incredible instincts. You know,
yeah,
like
I agree with that, man. And when I read up on this kid from the high school ranks to now, in the preseason we were given our previews, and I said we love Ashton Jeanty even last year, so we knew what Ashton Jeanty was about. We didn't think it was going to be this good, but we knew that it was going to be Boise State was going to be on his back. And I said, let's look at the matchup between Maddox Madsen and Malachi Nelson.
who everybody had penciled in as a starter.
Correct. He beat him out. And I said, well, we're going to have to see what this kid's about. He's like 5'9", 5'10", barely 205 pounds.
He kind
And
of
he was
reminded like
piecing.
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, he
Not a
was
great
piecing dudes
athlete,
up.
but enough where he can get out the pocket, like extend plays and whatnot. It's just like Penn State, they got some cyborgs on that defensive line.
Yeah, they were piecing dudes up with their passing game. It was a very good compliment to what Ashton was doing. So I don't want to go into this thing saying that like, you know, Ashton was everything to Boise State because Maddox Madsen had, I believe he had 3,000 yards, 20 something touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Like he wasn't turning the ball over. He was a perfect complement to what they were doing. And you saw it. He had some moments in the game where you're like, wow, like who is this kid? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
If
I
he
was
was on
like,
a better
yeah,
team, he would be pretty
yeah.
good, you know?
Like
So
I was telling Miami fans, we need to go steal this guy. College football ain't doing nothing about tampering. Let's go buy this dude up for 4 or 5 million.
I feel with him and how I felt about Caden Salter, right? When Caden Salter transferred to college, we talked about this a little bit on my show. It's like, you know, Caden Salter's another one of those dudes that's going to get highly disrespected for whatever reason. But when you watch the game in between the X's and O's, you know that dude should be on a P5 or P4 program, and now he's on Colorado. And I believe that people, if he decided to enter the transfer portal, he would go to a big school, but he's a Boise guy. Like he's an Idaho guy. He's going to stay there. I think that was his hometown team. He's going to want to try. And now you smelt the roses now, right? You were the number 3 team in the country. So you're just like, man, Spencer Danielson, people love him as a coach too. And he's
Yeah.
doing an incredible job. He's going to recruit the hell out of some kids to come there. And if they're back in this position next year, me and you are up here like, we're not
I wouldn't
surprised.
be surprised if you can outcoach Dan Mullen, because with him at UNLV and the fact that they do have a really good collective, I can't wait to see how that plays out.